What is up, GOAT World? It's me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another GOAT format video. I have the top 8 deck list from PWCQ number 47, and what a fantastic, stellar event it was. They're always going to be fantastic and stellar, but this one was really cool. 54 duelists showed up trying to clinch that invite to the GOAT Format World Championship, and I want to bring you those top 8 deck lists right now. Congratulations again to Rabbit for winning the PWCQ for the 3rd time. So I know we love Ado, but go ahead and like and subscribe, and we're going to hop on in to the top 8 deck list. Coming in at number 8, we have the Duelist Ricksaw, representing Team Evil, is in the building, playing, I'm gonna call this Earth Aggro with a little bit of twist in there, I see Ninja Grandmaster has made its way into the main deck. Also, you have GK Spies finding their way into the main deck, and that pesky Big Shield Gardner is in the main deck. I think that is pretty cool. Now you're going to be playing Grand Marg. The Rock Monarch is going to be in the main deck as well. I think that is super dope. Having another layer you can get into, some tribute monsters trying to take this Earth aggro to the next level. I don't hate it. I think it's pretty nice. Brain Control and Grand Mark obviously going to be a good combo. You're still playing Trap Does Shoot and Zing Zin, who has found his way into the main deck. That also pairs well with that Grand Mark. The Rock Monarch is going to be there. And now just looking at the trap lineup, it seems pretty standard. You got the Bottomless Trap Hole, and I've seen that Bottomless Trap Hole in this tournament. It was going insane all day. Duels are playing Bottomless Trap Hole. Maybe it's back, maybe it's not, maybe it's cope, but we shall see. Looking into the side deck, they got that Skill Drain in there. They got that 7 Tools of the Bandit in there. You got 2 Mobius and Frost Monarchs in there. This thing is not sorted properly. Hate to look at the way that side deck is set up. Magician of Faith as a one-of in the sideboard. I don't hate it. Only 2 Goblins in the main deck, 2 DDS. Maybe you can bump that DDS up to 3, but I don't hate 2 Goblins at 2. Gigante still sitting at 3. Earth Aggro is lit. I think this deck is real. It's back. It topped the GOAT Format World Championship, and now Ricksaw is doing their thing, representing Team Evil with this new Earth deck. Tell us what you think about it in the comment section down below. I love this deck. I think it's pretty spicy. Spicy meter going up.
Hop on the spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Okay, coming on in at 7th place, we have Evil for Life, another Team Evil member represented in the top 8, and it's going to be Evil for Life, formerly Scrub for Life, aka Michael Gray, is playing the straight up warrior strategy, making it to the top 8. The deck is solid. The deck is real. Michael Gray just won PWCQ number 46 the last time, and now back at it again at the top table. This warrior strategy really speaks to this duels, it appears, and they're having some great results with it. By all stretch of the imagination, it seems like it's a pretty standard warrior deck. Maybe I can put their winning deck list here and see how they compare with each other, but it seems pretty bread and butter up and down warrior strategy. Double Mystic Swim level 2 in the side deck. Magician of Faith is going to be in the side deck. GK Spies, very standard stuff, but you also have a Bottomless Trap Hole. What do these duelists know about this Bottomless Trap Hole that they aren't telling the rest of us? I don't know. We'll have to check into it. 2 Trap Does Shoot is going to be in the main deck. Everything else seems very, very standard, as the warrior strategy is a tier 1 deck in Go format. Huge shout out to the Evil for Life and the Evil organization for a back-to-back top performance in the PWCQ program. Michael Gray is on his Michael way. Huge shout out to you. Coming on in at 6th place, we have Ultra Instincts Finest is in the building. 6th place, Nate Dogg. The Regulators mount up, coming on in, playing this Go Control strategy with the 3-3-2 ratio. We don't talk about the 3 metas, 2 creature swap, 3 scapegoat token meta game we got going on here, but it seems pretty robust and resilient, keeping that Morphin Jar in the main deck along with that D-Mock. This seems like some Splevin technology. I love this deck. I like this duels. I think Nate Dogg is up next. A lot of people putting a lot of chips, a lot of pressure on Nate Dogg to go ahead and have a breakthrough season this year, and I think with this top performance, that could be the push that Nate Dogg needs to get over the top. Keeping that Sure Priest in the main deck to couple with this creature swap, I don't hate that. The Android Psycho Shocker is going to be in the main deck too. I think that's pretty cool. Call of Hunted, Genzo, D-Mock is in the main. I think this deck is cool, and Nate Dogg was absolutely cooking. Had to run up against that burn strategy, and it just did not go well for the nasty Nate.
Next time I come for you, I'm gonna want some cocktail.
It's going to be what it is. Air Knight Parshaft has found his way into the side deck along with Hysteric Fairy, Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer, another Mystic Swordsman level 2, and a Rhoda. I think this thing is cool, man. Rory Decree, this is a solid Go Control deck by all intents and purposes. So tell us what you think about it. Nate Dogg, congratulations to you for your 6th place finish. Moving on to number 5. We have number 5, and that does say 5th place, and that does say Lil Bounty, GFC, SJC, FLC Clash of Champions winner, Lil Bounty. I think you also got an obelisk in there too. And you're not deceived. This is not I had to check a few times. This is not a misclick on the deck here. This is a Chaos Turbo deck, and Lil Bounty was playing it. I am disgusted and I am repulsed. I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe we lost another one to the dark side.
Who said that you would destroy
Turbo.
not join them?
It appears as Lil Bounty did not load the patent pending warrior strategy, but elected to play the Chaos Turbo with the 10-10 ratio, 10 spells, 10 traps. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Card destruction with 1 Night Assailant. Hate that too. I just don't like to see. I like to see people doing what they do, and I hate to see another trooper moving on to the dark side. But you know what? It is what it is. I got deep love and respect for Lil Bounty. In the side deck, you're gonna stick on with that goat control. Ghost no meta. Ghost swap situation with the Dumbiris. Maybe there's something to that. I've seen that kind of catching on a little bit as we're getting on in with the one hollow life barrier. I know there's also 1 jar of greed in there too. I think this is a cool deck. Obviously Turbo's going to be what it is, but I hate to see the OG Lil Bounty playing Chaos Turbo succumbing to the ways of the world and doing what you got to do. I understand why. Hate to see it, you know what I'm saying, but still shout out to you, Lil Bounty. Moving on to 4th place. That was Lil Bounty at 5th place. We have in 4th place, we have John Wick, another duelist representing the evil organization. So that is so far 3 of the top 8 are representing this new team evil, kind of like an old Rampage spinoff kind of thing. I don't know the whole lore. I don't know all the beef, and I'm not going to get into it, but we have a lot of members that are representing team evil now. John Wick, after coming in last PWCQ with a 3rd place finish, now you're back again with a 4th place finish. So back-to-back top performance, still trying to get over the top, still got card D in the main deck, double Night Ass, 1 Spirit Reaper. You're going to go no Solemn Judgments in the main deck, 2 in the side, keeping that theory alive. I think that's pretty good. Hollow Life Barrier going to find its way back into the side deck along with 1 copy of Mystic Walk and still a bunch of 1-of. This deck is basically the same deck that he went to the GOAT Format World Championship with. He's kind of been still sticking with it. Chaos Turbo, doing what Chaos Turbo does. Maybe John Wick can get a breakthrough at some point. He's gonna win. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, but it's going to be a matter of when John Wick gets the dub. But huge shout out to John Wick. He was hanging out in the stream all day while playing. I think that is insane activity, but you know what? It's going to be like that some portion of the time. But huge shout out to this deck. Again, Chaos Turbo, it's going to be what Chaos Turbo is. No big deal. We take it and we're going to continue to grind. You got to play it though. You got to have the deck, but you got to also play it well. And you have to look at these ratios and see who is going to be right and who is going to be wrong. As we go ahead and kick it on over to number 3. Now, this is probably the spiciest deck in the tournament, I would say, is Madcap playing this burn strategy, but you're doing it in your own way. You're adding a ton of spicy techniques and inclusions in this deck, to include that Spirit Reaper, to include the Guardian of the Sanctuary, or Protector of the Sanctuary. You have the freaking Big Shield Guardians in there. You have the koalas in there. You got the Desert Sunlight in there. You got the Shield and Sword in there. You got the My Body as a Shield in there. Just a lot of tech in this burn deck, and all that stuff was coming together. You look at it and you're like, man, this is a lot of bricks. It's so many cards. It almost seems like it can almost be just a combo deck, because you're going to need, two cards to kind of go together to kind of make a lot of your plays happen. Speaking of this Desert Sunlight, it can't really do anything by itself, but when you couple that thing with this Morphin Jar, or with this Protector of the Sanctuary, or with this Cyber Jar, you can get a lot of cool plays in there. Like, this Shield and Sword is really not doing anything, but when you pair that thing with this koala, or with this panda, or with this Big Shield Gardener, or with this Injection Fairlay, sometimes you can start getting some really cool high impact damage inducing plays to your opposition. We saw that this Bety as a shield was doing some great effects too. It protects against Nobleman Cross Out. It can protect against some of the other things that kind of throw you for a loop there. So I think it's a nice little inclusion. Triple Giant Trinade. This is a really cool deck. We saw him doing some really cool stuff with it throughout the tournament. And then you go into the side deck, you'll like to go ahead and play Solemn Judgment. This is a call that a lot of people have been thinking about for a while. Like, why aren't Burn people playing these Solemn Judgments? I don't understand. You can just force a lot of your plays through, and Solemn Judgment might be a great card. Everyone else is playing it, and once you go side deck, they're probably going to take it out. So your Solemns are probably going to resolve like 100% of the time. So you can really jam your burn plays through. You can jam those walks up. You can do some really cool stuff with this freaking Solemn Judgment. So I like to see that Madcap is taking the opportunity to put that Solemn Judgment in and get it was going crazy. The United Withstand also is a good inclusion. Bringing in your own walks for the mirror, I don't hate that either, with another copy of the Spirit Reaper. So tell us what you think about this deck. I think this is by far and away the spiciest deck in the tournament. Maybe not. It's definitely one of the spiciest decks that we saw in the top 8. Going on in to second place. Huge shout out to you, Madcap. Continue to play. We're going to see if you can push this burn strategy over the top. Coming on in second place, OG Bety was grinding hard. This dude had to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday. This dude had to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! During this tournament today. Okay, he had to absolutely get it in, and he was getting it in all day, made it all the way to the grand finals. Had to double up Rabbit, just couldn't quite. Deck kind of ran out of gas. It was opening double Thunder Dragon so many times, and the deck just absolutely failed to function. Just could not seal the deal in the grand finals, and it's going to be like that. You're just going to have to shake it off and keep coming back with a very extremely standard Chaos Turbo deck. One thing I will say is that going back to Beachy's deck and also John Wick's deck and a lot of other players' decks, this freaking Book of Moon, man, this card might be back. Book of Moon might be back. That's one thing I did notice. Beachy's Book of Moon was going insane. John Wick's Book of Moon was going insane. Maybe that might be something to think about, incorporating Book of Moon back into this Chaos Turbo strategy. It was just absolutely having phenomenal effects protecting these Chaos monsters, and I don't know, people have been cutting it. Maybe it's time to bring Book of Moon back into this meta game. One Jar of Greed is another thing I've noticed that a lot of players are just rocking. Just a one of singleton Jar of Greed. I don't know how good that is with the double dust shoot. That also might become more of the standard ratio as we are going forward. Side deck seems pretty standard. You got the Genzo Call in there. That's a little bitty spice, but this deck is salt and pepper up and down. Bet you was playing out of his mind still, but did not quite get through the threshold that needed, because you were thwarted by none other than our eventual winner, which is 3-time PWCQ champion. PWCQ winner is going to be none other than the duelist that goes by the name of Rabbit, with 1 period representing the Safari Zone. And Bety is another evil member, so that's 4 out of the top 8 were all team evil, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty nice. But Rabbit had to secure victory representing the Safari Zone, playing the Thunderclap. Thunderclap gets another cheeky dub out here as Rabbit is continuing to develop this strat. I think it's super solid. This deck is good. It's legit. I think this is a legit strat. You might want to call it a warrior deck. You might want to call it a turbo deck. Whatever the hell you want to call it, the strategy is legit and it's certified, and I think it is here to stay. I think people are going to start to build upon this because it's hard. What are you doing? You're going to bring Nobleman in. People are going to keep Nobleman in against you. We saw people keeping Nobleman against Rabbit all day, and that thing was DOA, dead on arrival, not doing any damn thing. But if you take it out, they're going to be flipping Faith and Spy so freely. They're going to be setting their Dawn. They're going to be doing all kind of weird stuff to you. And Zaborg was coming out right on time. You got the triple Sakuretsu armor, triple Solemn Judgment. I got to hear about that. Why are we going? We're so heavy on the battle traps. Maybe Rabbit was fearing the Warrior strategy. Warriors kind of showed up a little bit, but not as much as you would think with the main deck ball in the trap hole. No main deck Dust Tornado. 2 main deck Trap Dust Shoot. No Jar of Greeds. So I think this is a solid pick. Double Blade Knight, single Ninja Grand. I think this is a solid pick. This is a extremely solid deck. What I'm taking away, just looking at all these decks, that Bottomless Trap Hole might be back. I think Book of Moon might be better than we think it is, and I think there is a lot of room to go as we are in PWCQ number 47. This is the second one of the season, and Turbo still hasn't took one down yet, so maybe that might say something about what is left. You know, I know those Turbo guys are going to come back with a vengeance after I just said that, but we'll see how it goes. But again, huge shout out to Rabbit. Congratulations on your invite, and hopefully we'll see you continue to push this strategy for going on as the dueling season continues. So get into the comment section. Tell me what you think about these top 8 deck lists. Also, PWCQ number 48 is going to be going down November the 25th. 5th. So get into the Discord if you're not already there. If you want to play, make sure you reach out and let me know, and maybe you can punch your ticket to the Go Format World Championship. But really quickly, I just want to take some time to point out these top 8 deck lists, tell you my initial thoughts, what I thought about them, and then you get into the comment section and tell me what you think. All right, but that's all I have for today. As always, I'm JDZ. I play Ghosts. Until the next time, shout out to all the real ones. Salute to the OGs. Peace.